Hello, I'm Minister Alfie James, and it is my pleasure to share this devotional moment with you. When I was thinking about the Passion Week, two little words came to mind, and it was so amazing to me. The two words were, I thirst, and that's what I want to share with you today. In John 19, verses 28 and 29, it says, After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, saith, I thirst. Now there was a vessel full of vinegar, which is also called sour wine in some translations. And they filled a sponge with vinegar and put it on hyssop and put it to his mouth. Have you ever wondered why these two little words are recorded among the last sayings of Christ before his death? Last words are really important. They're usually some kind of instruction or a sentiment or even a last bit of wisdom. Yet here we see, I thirst. Picture it, Jesus hanging on the cross, bloody, beaten, and agonizing, almost at the point of death. And he says, I thirst. Reflecting on this past year, I believe many of us, if we're honest, can echo Jesus' sentiment and say, I thirst. This last year has been riddled with heartache, grief, despair, loneliness, loss, sorrow, disappointments, you name it. And it's left us thirsty for something real, something life-giving, something eternal. And that which the world has offered, sex, money, power, status, politics, platforms, and all of that stuff just hasn't quenched the thirst. These things are like vinegar or sour wine to our souls and our spirits, and they have left us dry, panting, and thirsty. But thanks be to God, we don't have to stay that way. In John 7:37, Jesus said, he stood there and cried out, actually saying, if anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. And you're wondering, what kind of drink could you get from Jesus? John 4:14 clarifies that for us, where he says, whosoever drinks of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. And you know, this cry that Jesus did, it wasn't just for those at that time. That cry is going out for us today. He continues to cry out to all who are thirsty, all who are weak, battered, bruised, broken, confused, disappointed, hurt, humiliated, sorrowful, anxious, fearful, or whatever your state may be. You can come to the fountain of living waters and drink. Drink that you may be refreshed. By refreshed, that means he's going to give you new strength or energy. He's going to reinvigorate you. Drink from the fountain that you may be replenished. That means you're going to be filled up again. Drink from the fountain that you may be restored, meaning that you'll be brought back to a previous rite, practice, custom, or situation. It's like the same as being reinstated. So whatever the trials of the past year have left you thirsty, or maybe you just seem to be in a dry season of life, understand that Jesus is still inviting you to come to the fountain and dip your heart in the streams of life. Come and drink from the fountain that never runs dry. This Easter season, we need you to know that you don't have to thirst anymore. You can come and drink that you may be refreshed, replenished, and restored.